Hi everybody, it's Miss Milford. Um, who else would it be? Um, so I just hope that you guys are doing great, staying safe and all that kind of stuff. I want to jump on here today and give you guys a little bit of a lesson about body paragraphs. Um, I also just want to remind you really fast. I have put in grades. If you guys have missing assignments, please make sure that they're done before this Friday. um, that is when I will be grading everything from this week and putting in stuff that you didn't get to last week. That is the cutoff day. I will not give any extensions for this week beyond the weekend. I know that sounds pretty, harsh, but keep up with your work, guys, because we absolutely need to stay on top of that. If you do have a missing assignment and you turn it in, please email me so that I know and that I can grade it really fast and put your grade in. So the first thing that I want to let you guys know about is I have looked at your thesis statements, and I kind of want to bring you to this Martian example essay. I wanted to show you guys this because this is an okay example of an essay. It's not the best by any means, but it does do a lot that some of the essays that I've seen from you guys so far hasn't done. So what I mean by that is the first thing, and I looked at a few people's thesis statements yesterday, and you're doing great. You have great ideas, but I just need you to keep in mind that a thesis statement like this one right here is only one sentence normally. If you go over one sentence, then you're running into like confusing your reader. Just make sure that you're answering that question: should humans attempt to colonize Mars? And then have your three reasons in that are going to make up your body paragraphs. So this person, there's they're saying that we should not go to Mars because it's risky, and that humans can suffer from the atmosphere. So the first thing that he talks about is actually, it's not in order. So he made sure that to talk about technology first, and then he went in and talked about the atmosphere. But we'll talk about that later. I just really wanted you guys to see that this is what a thesis statement should look like. It should have your stance mixed in with the things that you're going to talk about. Moving on, I have uploaded this handout. Now, I stole this from the internet, so I'm not Miss Ryder. I don't know who she is, but thanks for making this for us. Um, we're going to be looking at this, but I'm also going to be showing you an example of a body paragraph that I've written. So the first thing we're going to do is when you have your reasons, you're going to pick one to start with. Normally I like to go in order of what I want to talk about, but you guys can do it any way you want. So if I'm going to be talking about how humans should not colonize Mars because the conditions are too bad, and I'll just go with that. What I'm going to want to say is, if you look here, is that I've said humans should not colonize Mars because the conditions are too harsh for human life. Now, I'm going to highlight this so that you keep it in the center of your mind. This is my topic sentence for this paragraph. So I can go ahead and, check that off. What I've done is I've introduced the topic. I'm sorry, I'm skipping around too much. I've introduced my topic, and people know what I'm going to be writing about. So, you guys can look up transitions if you need to, get ideas about how you want to start your paragraph. But I'm going to skip this right here because I feel like, we don't want to be like, first of all, this blah, blah, blah. I try to avoid that because I don't really think it's that professional. But you can use these transitions like additionally or another reason why. You can use that in your second and third body paragraph. So I'm going to move along. The next thing you want to do after you do your topic sentence is you want to introduce an example. Now, I'm going to differentiate between example and evidence, okay? My example is going to be my reason. So if I said that the conditions are too harsh, that is my example. That's what I'm going to talk about. Then I'm going to back up my example with evidence. So if we go back to my paragraph, I said humans should not colonize Mars because the conditions are too harsh for human life. Now, if you need to, you can pause it right now and read what I've written. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'll give you just a second. Okay, welcome back. If you didn't pause, then that was awkward for the both of us. So now what I want you to see is that I have gone in and I have introduced, so I want to use a variety of introductory phrases. I have introduced my first piece of, first example for my first reason, okay? So the Martian atmosphere is too incompatible with human life, which is why Mars exploration began with rovers instead of humans. I can't talk right now for some reason. So this is my first thing I want to say. So the atmosphere is too incompatible, and that goes under the umbrella of conditions. So the atmosphere is one thing that I'm going to talk about, and then if you get on here, I say another issue is that Mars is too cold. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the atmosphere and the temperature, which make up the conditions. I hope that makes sense. Because I pretty much have like a mini essay here. So this would be like my little introduction paragraph, and then I have my first body paragraph and my second body paragraph. Okay. But that is like, like, don't get confused. This is just like a tiny little essay within an essay. Okay. And it's not that difficult. Once you have this sentence, your like introduction sentence, what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to find some evidence. Okay. So if I go back to mine, I have said, according to NASA, the Martian atmosphere is made up of mostly, let's take this out, of mostly carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. And if you see right here, I've put an in-text citation, which tells me where I get my information and what year it was published. And if I go to the website where I found it, which is right here, I have this information, which is right up here. I picked this right out of the website and quoted it. And then I scrolled to the bottom here and found that it was updated on December 19th. We don't really know exactly what day it was published, but this was its last publication date. So that's what I'm going to use for my date that goes here. Okay. So now that I've put in my evidence, I'm going to explain it. Okay. So if you go right here, what I've said about this is that humans need some of these gases to live, but mostly they need oxygen, which, if you guys notice from the quote, it is not present. So without a healthy blend of gases, humans could not survive without special suits like the ones seen in The Martian. We want to use The Martian right here as sort of a bridge to help our reader understand what we're talking about. Like, we're going to pretend that our reader has seen The Martian, we've seen The Martian, and we're going to use it as a common ground. Okay? So that's me. I basically said, we need oxygen. This is what NASA says. Humans need oxygen, right? And then I jump into the second issue, which is it being too cold. So I go in and say that the average human body temperature is 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. The temperatures from Mars range from 70 degrees to 225 degrees. Now, if I go back to the NASA website in that same section here, the temperature on Mars can be as high as 7 degrees Fahrenheit or as low as about negative 225. Now, I did not directly quote that, you guys. I paraphrased it. So what I've done is made my own sentence that is similar to this one here, but it is not the exact same. But I also went and I quoted, like, I pretty much put an in-text citation so people know that this sentence right here is not my word. Like, it's not my information. I did not measure these temperatures and publish it myself. This came from NASA. Okay. My explanation for this was that the average temperature is often well below freezing, which would pose a threat to human survival. While insulation heaters are a great solution, it is a short-term solution. Mars's temperature or atmosphere is so thin that the heat simply leaks out, leaving the planet a cold, desolate wasteland. Now, I also got this part right here from that same website. Now, notice I'm pretty much done here, okay? I've explained this part, and I explained my claim here. because we need to take into consideration what are humans going up against. If you're talking for colonization, you want to say like, what are the benefits? So keep those keep that stance of yours in the middle of your brain as you write. And then the last thing that we're going to look at is concluding the paragraph. Now, you guys are totally, welcome to go onto Google, type in paragraph transitions, get ideas of how you want to transition from paragraph to paragraph. What I've done here is I said the conditions of Mars aren't the only things preventing humanity from colonizing. There is also the issue of not being able to have access to fresh running water. So, if I was to go on, my next paragraph would be about water. So I hope that made sense for you guys. If you need to, you can email me, ask me questions. But just let me know how you're going. I know this is kind of hard to do remotely, but trust me, I wish I was at school with you too. Even though I do enjoy sleeping however much I want. So I just hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside, wash your hands, and I hope to see you guys in May. Let's cross our fingers. Because this social distancing it was fun the first week, but I'm getting a little ill of not being able to go out and, do what I want. So, be good. I hope that you guys are, great. Talk to me. Let me know. Oh, you're also invited to my Google Hangout that I'm going to do tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's either Zoom or Google Hangout. I don't know yet, but I will let you guys know the details tomorrow. So email me if you have questions, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.